welcome to another Superhouse Diary video. Today we're going to talk about the most amazing guests you can have in your property. A few videos ago I was talking about your ideal guest and your guest avatar. One of the guest avatars are families with children. Exactly, children are your best guests. And guess what? Guess why? Because if the child likes your space, they're likely to tell to their parents, "Mummy, Daddy, can we come back to this beautiful place we stayed, or where I had my teddy, or where I had a colouring book?" And guess what? The parents are likely to come back to your place, even though they're more likely to recommend your place to their friends and family. And obviously, if they've got children, their friends are likely to have children too. So by hosting just one family, you potentially open up your apartment to host more and more families. I used to think that booking is just the booking. And then I realized that hosting families needs totally different approach and expectations. And today, this is what I want to talk to you about. There are a few important aspects when hosting a family, especially with children and young children specifically. You need to ensure your space is kid-proof. What I mean by that is all chemical substances, liquids are stored away. Any sharp corners, anything like that, that's being handled and taken care of. Okay, you don't need to turn your property into a nursery, but just have few precautions to ensure the space is safe. Okay, provide some kids-friendly amenities. Even plastic cutlery from IKEA will go a long way. Trust me. There is nothing better than parents who feel like they don't need to carry half of their house to go on holiday. I've been there. When my child was little, we literally had to pack the car to the brim and take everything with us. So the more things you've got, the more easier it's going to be for parents, the more likely they're going to come back, and then they will leave the 5-star review. And trust me, people prefer to pay to have a peace of mind and everything they need rather than trying to source it. If there's little children, you might consider even having some wet wipes, for example, or travel cot. For example, in my property, I didn't have a travel cot. I had guests with older child, so I only had a single bed, but I prepared a little, like a panel that you can adjust to the bed so the child will not fall during sleeping. That wasn't something that the parents asked me to do. I did ask, how old is the child? The girl was 3, and I think, okay, well, she's 3, she must still crawl out of the bed at night. So this was what I provided. And guess what? Guests loved it. They absolutely loved it. First of all, because I came out and went this step ahead, extra mile, as they call it. They didn't expect that. And second of all, because they had a peace of mind and can enjoy their stay. And finally, make sure you prepare some entertainment and activities. Colouring book is only going to cost you a few pounds or a few dollars, depending where you're based, but it really can make a difference. Pack of crayons, a little teddy, some, board games or some little things. These will absolutely make a change for parents because the child can be busy and they can do their own stuff or even drink coffee in a nice and peaceful environment. So I definitely recommend looking into that. If you got a house in a touristic location or a property, and yes, you can turn it into a very family-friendly place and actually have a repeated guest. You can even go a step further, have some personalized stickers or personalized branding that will be great for kids, even better. They will take it with them. The word will spread and you will have some free advertising in different locations where they're based. So do let me know in comments if you've hosted families and what was your experience when hosting families. If you haven't hosted the families, would you consider that after watching this video? And as usual, if you need any further tips, leave a comment below and I'll come back to you. Take care, subscribe, like, and I'll see you very soon in another episode of Superhouse Diary.